Most of you know who we are, but those of you that don't, Michael is considered one of the foremost practitioners, scholars, Vastu architects, and Vedic Jyotish astrologers in North America. And he has been an architect since the early 70s, and he was one of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's architect and designed spiritual centers for him around the world. And I don't know, what else can I say about you? He's designed and built for Boeing and Microsoft, and some of our corporate clients include
Intel, Oracle, Amazon, World Bank,
NASA, as well as Nordstrom's for all of you shoppers in the US. But we have always had, our basis has always been our spiritual work. And in fact, when we came together on our first date, we had known each other for a couple of years, but on our first date, that was one of the things we talked about, was what we wanted individually. And we both seemed to want the same things, which was kind of shocking. We wanted to raise healthy, happy kids and do good work in the world. And it was through our desire to be of service that we became teachers for the Art of Living Foundation, which is an international non-governmental organization whose sole purpose is service to humanity. And we became teachers of Vedic knowledge through them, and that was over 25 years ago. Before that, we were both Michael was a teacher for Transcendental Meditation since 1967. And I've also been a meditator, and when we got together, Mike taught me Transcendental Meditation, and we practiced that for many years before we became teachers for Art of Living. So we have deep knowledge in the Vedic sciences. I have my master's focused on bringing this knowledge to the West and making it the way we like it in the West, fun and easy and great quick results. And that is what we're doing here today with the altar ceremony. My graduate work in whole systems design was about creating small environments that we call altars to support people's heart's desires. And my research showed that these altars actually do create transformation in people's lives. And we're going to go through the different elements and what the altar, how the altar is set up in a little bit, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about some of the things that we're doing. On Mondays, we're doing Mantra Mondays weekly, and we're just finishing off this month. This has been the month of renewal. And we're finishing off this month with enlivening the energies of nature to support health, happiness, and well-being, using ancient knowledge, but also using some modern technology. And so that is coming up on Monday, and we're launching a special offer we're very excited about, that we're also launching that day to help support the energies in the house, as well as its impact on our immune system. So, oops, Michael forgot to plug in the computer, so we're going to do that right now. He just did. All right, so I also wanted you to know the difference between the full moon altar and the altar that we usually have up, which has been this month. We've been having, we've set up a transformation altar, which will be again set up for Monday's class. This altar is an altar that you build as the moon is building to its fullness, and we take down a few days after the moon has been full. And the full moon is tomorrow which is Sunday at 11:48 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So for all of you who really want to experience that full moon energy, tonight is a good night to go out. You'll really feel the fullness of the moon. Tomorrow night as well. And some people even experience that full moon for another day afterwards. But whenever you start feeling the moon is waning, it's time to take your altar, your full moon altar down. It is just for the moon, and it is just to really create a focal point for your dreams and desires. And so we'll go through the ceremony in a little bit, but before we do, Michael is going to talk about the astrology of the full moon this month, as well as what to expect for the next month, all the energies in the next month.
So using sidereal Vedic zodiac, not the Western zodiac. So the Western zodiac is based on where the planets were 2,000 years ago. It's called tropical zodiac. But if you were to ask an astronomer where the planets were today, he would be using the sidereal zodiac. So it's much more accurate. And you'll find that in Western astrology, they say the full moon is in Libra, but here in the sidereal zodiac, the full moon is in Virgo. So, and Virgo, it's called a supermoon. And so this month is all, or this full moon is all about healing, health and healing, and thinking about a new health regime for the month. And as Robin was saying, our focus is on rebirth. So through healing, everything about what you want for this month, for your intention, for your altar, etc. And the other attributes of Virgo is compassion. It's very intuitive, very feminine. It can be, so it's ruled, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is that analytical part of the mind that can criticize and pull things apart. But the lesson of Mercury and this full moon is to use that analytical part of the mind to bring things together instead of pulling them apart, to find the good things in everything. And so it's used to unite things, really. That's the lesson. And so it's a good time still. Now, I talked last Monday about this conjunction of Rahu and Mars, and that's actually taking place today. So there is a little bit of that energy that can make you feel anxious, frustrated, even possibly accident prone. So just be careful and patient. It's going to last for a few more days, but the height of it is actually today and tomorrow. And so, yeah, whenever Rahu's the north node of the moon, kind of gets together with Mars, there can be some fire, some energy that can make you anxious. And so it's a good time to channel that energy, to do some organizing, some cleaning around the house, and not take it out on your family or partners, because you can be, there can be arguments. So avoid those arguments and channel that energy. And so we're going to give you some tips on how to do that today with the mantras. And I think that'll help a lot.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about the altar, and then we're going to, Mike is going to introduce a new mudra that we haven't used before during our courses or classes yet. And then we'll do some chanting and activate the altar, learn a couple, actually there's one new chant during the chanting that I'm going to do, and maybe I'll have Mike do it. And it's all related to Dhanvantri, who is another one of these incredible deities from India. And this deity is about healing. And a lot of the deities have several different aspirations connected to it, but I think that, or connected to them, but I think Dhanvantri is really, he was the, Michael knows.
Yeah, so Ayurveda is the science of healing, and he's said to be the father of Ayurveda. He created all these healing remedies. You may have heard of soma and different things to heal the body, combining certain herbs and certain potions to really help with all kinds of illnesses and things that need to be healed. So very powerful aspect of the divine, Dhanvantari.
So since this energy of the full moon and this coming month, which we'll be doing in April, is all around rebirth. I thought that the healing and rebirth aspect, that we would try this kind of energy that we have from Dhanvantari, and we're going to teach you a new mudra, a new mantra connected to this deity. And then Michael is going to teach you the Vakratunda, or he's going to chant Vakratunda, the Ganesh Mantra. So we got all kinds of energies and entities on the altar this time, which I think is kind of cool. We have him, Dhanvantari. We also have Saraswati. She is the goddess of knowledge. We need a little bit of support so that through our awareness and our deeper understanding of how the energies work during this period of time, this next month, that we learn deeper compassion for ourselves and allow that creative energy that Saraswati represents to really support us. And we also have a dancing Shiva, and I don't know if you all can see Shiva. I like him a lot. When we lived in Seattle for many, many years, we had this ginormous Shiva, looked just like this, but he was, I don't know how.
6 foot tall.
He was ginormous. I mean, we even had him on a stand, so he was even bigger. And that's a lot of energy to have in a house. We didn't quite realize it because we were always so kind of on a, I don't know what you would call, just on a high anyway, because we used our house for teaching, and we would have gatherings every week at our house of our satsang community. And it was kind of like the big clubhouse. So that was the energy that we were always living on. So when we brought the Shiva, the dancing Shiva, into the house, it was like, oh, this is even better. But at some point, I guess we realized that was just, it was like having, stirring the pot all the time, because Shiva is the destroyer of illusion. And he's actually, if you saw a picture of him, you could actually see he's actually standing on the head of somebody. So it's like whatever is in the mind,
the demons of the
all
mind.
the demons in the mind get destroyed. And that's a lot of purification all the time. But this month we have a little one on the altar, and we are really needing that that awakening, so that we heal that part of ourselves that lives in an illusionary kind of space where we're either thinking things are going to be really bad, or overtly super positive, so that when things happen that are a little out of our picture of what we think we should have, we get devastated or overwhelmed by it. So it's all about creating a healing, loving, gentle platform for ourselves to go into this real change that we're going through this spring. Also on our altar is Ganesh. Ganesh is the remover of all obstacles, and he's also the god of wisdom. So from our work together, and as you can see from this beautiful Ganesh painting we have behind us, when we move a little bit this way, you'll see that this is our lovely original Ganesh painting, and we were so happy to actually share this with you, in that our dear friend and the artist Scott Haig has taken a photograph of this and has reproduced it, framed it, and done some art on it for everybody in the community, anybody that wants to buy it. His paintings, we have reproductions of this specific one and several other of his paintings. And I believe it's called, I'm not sure of the name of it. I want to say Gile or something. It's some sort of form of adding strokes of the artist onto a print of the original painting. And so it's a little bit different than just having a photograph or a copy. It is actually on canvas, printed on canvas with some art strokes or painting strokes from Scott. And he's going to sell those at pretty low cost to you. And we're just doing this because we love him. He was our teacher in Art of Living. He was the teacher of teachers and the original #1 student of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. And he also teaches advanced courses and wisdom classes through the Art of Living Foundation. And we love him. And he is actually the artist in all of our books. So he's been with us since the very beginning of our work. And that's a long time, 27 or 28 years so far. Anyway, so those are our assortment of gods who are and goddesses who are part of this afternoon's or this morning, depending, or evening, depending on where you are, the activation ceremony. So I'm going to start. I'm going to talk about each of the elements. For a full moon altar, you don't need to have it in any specific direction. The only thing is that the elements need to be in the directions. So a full moon altar can be placed on a coffee table or on a windowsill. I've seen people have little altars, little full moon altar on their windowsill. Anywhere that symbolically catches the light of the moon. And the elements, because this is a directional science, the water element is always in the northeast. And it can be in a cup or a bowl or a vase. The water has to be seen, so it's either transparent or translucent glass. And that's in the northeast. The air element is in the northwest. Here I have a little standing wind chimes. Unfortunately, they don't make these anymore, which I absolutely love them. And it was really sad that they stopped making them, this company. But also you can use incense, and I hope everybody can see the incense back here. And that's in the northwest. In the southeast is the fire element. And that can be one of those little battery operated lights, tea lights, or a candle. Ours is just a regular candle. And then in the southwest is the earth element. We have a crystal and a small bowl of uncooked rice. Some people even put dirt from their garden in a bowl, which I think is fine. Anything from the earth. And in the center is the space element. And the space element, we have what we call is an offering tray. And I'll lift it up and show you guys. I have put here my little note to the universe to support me. I have added in the middle or in the inside 3 words that I felt represented what I want, which is or feel like I want to include: gratitude, expansion, and manifestation. And then the little note on the outside is an affirmation. I am clearing space for my heart's desires to manifest. This has been a month of cleaning and clearing out. I have the Vastu Purusha Yantra, which is on, we're doing a sale this month. One of the items is this yantra. You can get it on our website. We also have some sandalwood mala beads. We use the mala beads when we're doing japa, which means that we're counting a mantra 108 times, so you don't have to count it in your mind. And sandalwood is a very good sort of bead in that it retains the vibration of the mantra. So after you use it, you can wear it, and that energy is within your energy field all day. We also have an Om symbol. This is the symbol for Om. Some people keep it on their altar. Some people hang it on their front door. Om is the symbol for peace. I also have a little keystone. We sell these. They're protection devices. They're also used to activate altars. We also use them when Michael does Vastu for somebody's home or office workspace. And that is used in a very specific way to balance the energy in the environment. So this goes in the center of our offering tray and represents the space element. And it is here that we place our intentions, because that once we activate the altar, it creates, and I see this energetically, it's like opening the door or tuning in a transistor radio. It clearly conducts that message to the divine, and it's allowing the divine to support us. Behind we have our personal symbol, which is this month we have Dhanvantri, and I also added a little carved Ganesh that we got in India on one of our trips. And the way I see this is that this divine spark happens in the water element, and it moves into, oh, actually, pardon me, the divine spark happens in the air, in our mind, and then it moves into the water element where it gestates, it kind of percolates there. The thought becomes activated through the spark of light and heat and passion that comes from that energy of the fire. And then it's grounded by the space element. But all things begin and end with space. Actually, it's grounded by the earth element, and all things begin and end with the space. So you can see it as a giant spiral. A spiral of energy moving through the elements to create something into the physical form. So now we're going to, Michael is going to teach you a mudra, and then we're going to activate, we're going to activate the altar now. No, I guess we're going to do the chanting now. So we'll do this, we'll set up the altar after I do the chanting, but you're going to teach the mudra.
So the mudra, you've seen many pictures of yogis meditating, and basically they hold their pointer finger and their thumb together, and the palms are face up on the knees. So just like this. And what this does is facilitate the flow of energy in the body. And when you're meditating and when you're chanting, this is a really good way to move any kind of stuck energy in the body.
So the first mantra we're going to chant, we chant it every week because it's really an essential mantra, is called the Mrityunjaya mantra. It is a Shiva mantra, and it is used for healing. So it destroys all of the negative thoughts in the environment. So when you chant it, it not only sets up a really beautiful vibratory frequency within the body for healing, but it has that tendency to also ripple out into the physical environment to create like this pure, clean energy. So it's great to have this mantra playing in the background in your kitchen. And also, if anybody is ever sick, to have it playing in the bedroom where somebody is resting.
Another thing you can do with the Mrityunjaya mantra, if you learn it or play it while you're taking a shower, it gets infused in the water that goes, and it clears out the cellular system in the body. So very powerful. You could even chant it in a bath, but a shower is very good too.
And I'm going to chant this one time through because it's kind of long and a tongue twister. And what I like to do when we chant, so we're going to put our hands, palms up on the knees in this Maha Mudra, and we're going to close the eyes. And we chant for the effect on the body and our environment. We don't chant because some of us have better voices than the others. We chant for ourselves and for our community of people. Everybody that knows this mantra can chant along with me, and those that don't, just sit with your eyes closed and feel the effects on your body and on your space, and just keep the eyes closed. And take a deep breath in and relax the breath. Continue breathing normally and regularly. Om Triambagam Yajamahe Sugantim Pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva Bantana Mrugyor Mukshi Amamruta. You can continue keeping your eyes closed or slowly open the eyes. Of course, I'm really feeling that. I don't know about you, but that was pretty cool. Now we're going to do the long, slow Omnimashibaya, which is also a Shiva chant. So if you know this one, and it's very simple, and I would recommend chanting it along with me, we're going to do it 3 times through. Normally when we breathe about 17 times a minute. But when we chant this, we slow the breath down. And each of the sounds that we chant have a specific effect on the physiology. And what we're doing with this chant is we're bringing the energy up through the body. And in the process, we have this incredible experience of chanting it in a way that brings stillness into our environment. I think I told this story once before. Years ago, Michael's dad had been injured, bad head injury, fell off a ladder. He was probably in his 80s at that point, down in Palm Springs. And so he ended up his head didn't feel right. He ended up in ICU. And back then, and I'm not sure if they still do this, they kind of open up the skull. So if there's a head injury, the brain can continue to swell and without restriction. It was very traumatic. This was a man who was always in control. He was like the big guy, your main patriarchal figure in a big Italian family. And to see him lying in bed unconscious, it was quite devastating. And to have a man who is always, kind of the one that you would go to with your problems, be in that position, it was pretty intense. But we spent a couple of days with him, and then we had an event we had to do in Irvine, California. And so we had to drive there, and we were pretty overwhelmed. And I remember I was just having a very hard time communicating. I had all this emotion. And so we chanted this mantra I think we chanted it for 9 or 27 times through. Everybody in the room did. It was a large audience. And I just felt like I needed it in order to be able to focus and present anything. The stillness in the room and the calmness that people felt, the peace that people felt, it was pretty remarkable. So I would suggest, if you haven't done this long, slow Om Namah Shivaya, to listen through one time and just join in, because you will experience a pretty phenomenal effect on the nervous system.
One other time, I remember our teacher, when 9/11 happened, there was just so much chaos and unsettled feeling. People were really anxious, and so our teacher had us chant this for about an hour straight, and it just calmed the energy down for us and everyone around us. So it's very, very powerful.
So let's close the eyes, put our hands in this mudra, palms up on the knees, and here we go. Please slowly open the eyes. How does everybody feel? It's good? Wonderful. So our last chant before we activate the altar is the Dhanvantri Namaha, Om Dhanvantri Namaha. And Michael is going to chant this one for you. And we're going to do it 9 times through. And then we'll activate our altar with another kind of mudra called Gomukhi Mudra, and chant the Ganesh Mantra. And then Michael will do a little blessing. After that, he has a new mantra he'll chant for you all as well. And you can close your eyes. Again, keep your hands in the mudra that we've just taught you, palms up on the knees.
Om Dhanvantri Namaha. 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 Om Dhanvantri Namaha.
And you can slowly open your eyes. And now we will activate the altar. First thing I'm going to do is light the incense and the candle, and Michael will teach you or take you through the activation ceremony and continue from there.
So for those of you who have your altar set up, you can take your intentions and just bring them to your heart, hold them to your heart. And for those of you who don't have an altar set up, just do this visually in your mind. So close your eyes Take some long, slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. And as you breathe in, begin to fill every cell of your being of what it would feel like to already have or own what you wrote on the piece of paper. Feel that sense of joy, that sense of fulfillment and gratitude in every particle of your being with a big, big smile on your face. Whatever it is, you already have it, you already own it, whatever you wrote. Let that sense of joy, fulfillment, and gratitude fill every particle of your being. Now you can place the piece of paper in the very center of the altar, the offering tray. And now we're going to ignite the altar with the Gomukhi Mudra. That is the Mudra of Intention, holding the two middle fingers in with the thumb, and the pointer finger and baby finger will be sticking out. And this really focuses our intention. And we're going to point 9 times and chant the mantra Om Gang Ganapatiye Namaha as we point at the center of the altar to ignite it. So Om Gang Ganapatiye Namaha. 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 Relax the hands, but keep the eyes closed. Take another deep breath in. Hold it. And as you breathe out, just surrender all those intentions to the divine. It's in divine time for those intentions to manifest. And while you have your eyes closed, take another deep breath in and as you breathe out, let go all the cares of the day. And take another deep breath in. And as you let go, just think of anything in your life that you want healed. Relationships, past and present, your physical body, your health, and the health of your family, the growth of your career, your life purpose, what you came here to do on this planet, and for the growth of your abundance and prosperity. One more time, take a deep breath in and hold it. And as you breathe out, just surrender all those intentions to the divine again. And just keep the eyes closed. I'm going to chant another mantra. It's another Ganesh mantra. And just keep your eyes closed. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Medeva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Medeva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Medeva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. With a big, big, big smile, you guys can open your eyes.
That was really nice. Thank you. So before we go into our question and answer time, I have a few announcements. The first one is, I guess, for the next few days through the 31st, we have 3 specials. Michael's online Vastu consultations, the online Vedic Astrology yearly reading, and the Vastu Purusha Yantra, which is this guy right here, are all 20% off using code renewal, and that's good through the 31st. Mondays, Mantra Monday, will be the last one of this series around renewal, and it is about enlivening the energies of nature to support your health, happiness, and well-being. And we're going to be talking about planetary mantras that Michael will chant to activate the energy in your environment, and sacred ceremonies and that are part of the Vedic tradition, as well as addressing the challenges of the new technologies and their impact on our bodies. And it's the special offer that we have launching on Monday for this, that we're doing just because we feel that it's time to bring this one item, or these 2 items that we've actually, Michael's actually created, to eliminate that stress that the electromagnetic energy, the 4G, the 5G have on our physiology and affect our immune system. We're going to be talking more about that on Monday and launching a very incredible special. Again, April is a month of rebirth, so I have no idea what we'll be doing. All this comes to me in the moment as I'm just kind of thinking about it in the shower or something. It just, all of a sudden, a spark of understanding comes to me, and then we put together these classes, and so it hasn't been brought to my attention or awareness yet what that's all going to look like, but I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful month of change and opening up to this new spring energy that we're experiencing. And again, once I get more information on these, the reproductions that Scott is doing of the deities, a lot of these deities that we've been talking about, and sharing pictures. I know there's a Lakshmi and a Saraswati, a Ganesh, and a Dhanvantri. I think maybe those 4.
And maybe a Hanuman.
Maybe, we're not sure yet. We haven't really talked about Hanuman in this group yet, but we'll see what Scotty comes up with. And so now we're going to open it to questions and answers. And Candace, if you can open the line. Candace is our wonderful moderator and my assistant, coming all the way from Argentina.
Ooh, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So if you just want to go ahead and raise your hands, either virtually so I can see you, or you can do it by pushing the little button. And I can go ahead and look through and unmute you for your questions. You can also put them in the chat too, and I'll read some of those as well. So let's see.
Put it up a little, put the volume up a little bit too.
I have a question from Sue. So I'll go ahead and unmute you, Sue. All right, I think you're there.
Thank you for doing it. I wish I could show you my altar. Can I?
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
I'd love it if you, everybody, as well as Sue, beautiful altars. I want pictures. I'll post them on the Vasu Creations page on Instagram, and love to see more of these. That's gorgeous.
Thank you so much. How long do I keep this? And how do I dismantle it?
Well, you keep it until the moon begins to wane, which is a day or two after the full moon. So Monday, late Monday or Tuesday, you can start, taking it down. The items on the altar, you can actually, some of these items people who are doing our Mantra Mondays with us have seen, I've had on our weekly altar that's up all the time. So you can add these pieces to other altars that you have in your house, or put them back
Okay.
where they belong, or just have them handy for the next full moon.
Thank you so much for doing it. I'm very grateful.
Oh, you're
I
great.
have put the yantras which I've got in the activation today. If you can see, I
Yeah,
got three yantras and I put it there for activation today.
that's
Very nice.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you so much for doing this. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sue. All right, so we have some questions in the chat. So one question is, will the recorded version be available for this lecture? The answer is yes, but you can go ahead and answer a little bit more in detail.
I think we put it up on YouTube, right?
It'll be
Yeah,
on
we put the
our
full
YouTube
meeting
channel,
on
which is Vastu Creations. And we'll also send it out in
A link. Well, we actually put that out somewhere, maybe in our next newsletter for those of you who want it. I think maybe because we're doing that mailing on Monday, that it could go in that as well. That would be
Right.
to add it there. All right.
All right, and then let's see. Michael, why do you change the tone at the end of at the end when chanting a mantra? I love it.
Yeah, so the last mantra in a series, if you're doing three repetitions or 9 repetitions or 108 repetitions, that's the normal way you end. Just kind of raise your voice, and that brings it all to a conclusion.
All right, that was from Charlene. We have another one. Thank you. I love these ceremonies. Will Scott's paintings be available through your website or through contacting him?
Either way, I think what I will probably do is that I won't have them on our website, but I will definitely make the link available. I know he's creating something now, and I'm not sure how all this is happening yet. He's kind of in process, and I'm just very excited to share these incredible pieces of artwork with you, because they carry so much energy, so much Shakti, because of the process that he does. And I believe that process, he'll share that process as well as the description of the deities and the sizes and the pricing, and that'll be coming soon.
Scott, you're still on Clubhouse?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, you got to speak up really loud.
Okay. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
Hold on a second. Can you turn up the volume?
Let me see if I can turn it up.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Mine's as high as I can get.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Scott is here. He's going to be working on all this, and we'll get you the information how to order everything.
Yeah, it's great timing. I just got my prints of the Don Mantara yesterday.
Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent.
They look great.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So
Saraswati too.
we'll be posting that probably in stories, the different paintings that he'll have available. So you'll be able to see everything that he's got ready for us when that happens.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sounds like I needed to paint a Hanuman.
Yeah, you should paint a Hanuman.
Yeah, that's the next.
Okay. On my list.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Hi, Scott. And then next question is from Soraya. What is the location for the fire element on the altar?
Southeast. Fire is in the southeast.
All right. From Isha, I'm having a sore throat and ear pain. I hope it's not COVID. Can you please suggest remedies for COVID?
Yeah, so this Mrityunjaya mantra is the most powerful healing mantra. So again, having it playing in the kitchen, we play ours 24/7 on a continuous loop. You could play it on a computer, an old iPhone or iPod. And so that vibration gets in the water and the food that you're eating, and then it becomes medicine. And again, you know, you can also sing it in the shower or the bath, taking a hot bath, and getting that healing mantra energy into the water that's that you're using when you take a shower. And I think that's very, very powerful. The other tips is lots of vitamin C,
Zinc.
and zinc, and 2,500 units of
D, at least 25.
D, vitamin D.
And if you're older, even more, up to 5,000. And also, my next door neighbor had COVID, and he said how he got better was very hot baths and drinking a lot of hot liquid. And I'd suggest ginger tea with manuka honey. Manuka honey is very, very powerful at boosting the immune system. It's not cheap, but it is the most powerful form of honey. And it comes from, I think, New Zealand. And it's you can get it at a health food store. Those are the kind of things you want to be able to sweat and break a sweat. So sometimes when I'm taking one of those baths, if I have a really bad cold or a flu, and I put a nub, which is like a knuckle of ginger sliced in half, in the bath, and I drink the ginger tea with the manuka honey and half a lemon squeezed into it while I'm bathing. And then I have a towel on the bed underneath and on top of me, because you're supposed to dry off, put on your flannel pajamas, hop in bed, and you will sweat. And that's so I'm lying on this towel, and then one over it, and then I put all my blankets on top. You will break a sweat, and you will sweat on and off for a good hour afterwards. You do that 2 or 3 times a day while you're really sick like that, it's going to help get rid of this virus in you.
Hope you feel better soon.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Let's see, we have one from Sharon. Thank you so much. Is it okay to read the mantras when I recite the mantras on my own or listening to a recording?
Yes, definitely. Sure. Also, I one of the things that I didn't mention while Mark was talking about the Mrityunjaya, we have that recording on our website, and you can download it from the website, right? Is that how we do it? Do we have MP3 files, or do we just have the
Yeah,
CDs?
no, so yeah, when you go to products under CDs, I think it's called CDs. Yes, the healing mantra is the one you want to pick, and that is the Mrityunjaya mantra.
And it's me chanting, so it's a quick way of getting it. And also, the way everybody learns is by listening to it. So, and chanting along with it. That's how I learned it. And seeing the words helps you, and the phonetics. And that's in the mantra booklet that we just made, that Candace designed for us, that I think is lovely. That will, looking at the words, pronouncing it, learning how to fine tune it, and continuing to utilize it becomes a part of you. In fact, the way I learned was in my girlfriend's kitchen. Early one morning, after we always do this freshly bathed, we were at her altar in her kitchen, and we chanted it 108 times through, and that's how we learned how to do it. So it's like the fastest way to learn it is by doing.
Thank you for your question, Sharon. And then we have a question from Kelly. What is Ganesh the god of besides remover of obstacles?
You just think about any aspect of your life, your career, if you're feeling stuck, your finances, if they're kind of stuck and not moving forward, or if you have a lot of debt, if you're have some health challenges and you're not getting any better, or your relationship, you're wanting a relationship, or you're wanting to increase the love in your existing relationship. Ganesh is that aspect of the divine that removes that obstacles for you to move forward. So yeah,
he's also the goddess, the god of protection and wisdom.
Correct.
And I think as well, he is a compassionate, loving presence. He's not a like a destroyer kind of energy presence. Sometimes Shiva has that, or Kali. Those energies are a lot more intensified. His energy is very gentle and loving, and I see Ganesh as like a bodyguard. He's your protector. So by chanting Ganesh Mantra, you actually have that energy field of protection around you.
There's a saying, and no matter how big your problems are, you can always know that Ganesh is always bigger, and he will always bigger. He's always big enough to remove those obstacles for your problems.
Thank you. And so we have a question from Doris now. Anybody want to raise their hand? Also, you can do that. But we have a bunch of questions in the chat. So, Michael, can you talk more about what is the impact of mantras and how do you select the ones needed? Can we make our own mantras?
Not sure about making your own mantras. So these mantras come from the Vedas, which are said to be 7,000 to 10,000 years old, and they were cognized by ancient seers in deep, deep meditation. And so these are what they call the seed syllables of the universe. The universe, has certain sound, certain vibration, and they are just the repetition of those vibrations, and they all have certain effects on the physiology and on the environment. And you guys definitely would have felt that today when Robin was chanting, or I was chanting. I don't know about making up your own mantras.
But you could do affirmations and have that be your, I would think that in a way, affirmations are kind of a mantra, but you don't repeat them over and over so much the same way. I mean, you hold those in your heart, you may repeat them several times a day, but the thing about, well, I guess some people do their affirmations.
Yeah, a lot of people say that that an affirmation is a mantra, because it's something you can repeat over and over to gain self-confidence, to improve your prosperity. But the difference between the mantras that we're chanting and an affirmation is just at a subtler, more powerful level. You don't even need to know what the mantra means. They have some meanings. You could look it up, but it's the vibration itself that has the effect on the physiology and the environment.
Awesome. And we actually have some raising their hand now. So we have Cosmic Shanti. I'll go ahead and ask you to unmute yourself.
Yes. On Monday, I was not able to participate because I don't have a Facebook or Instagram. I was wondering if you can also do the Mondays on the Zoom like today.
Kind of hard to do Facebook and and Zoom at the same time. That's the problem. And we don't post those on YouTube. As far as I can remember, we haven't been doing that. So, but they are, if you, and I don't know if you're adverse to Facebook, but they are on Facebook. They're stored on Facebook. Candace, is there any other place that they are? Sometimes they're on Insta. We do snippets of them on Instagram, but not the full thing on Instagram, right?
Right. There's only a link on Facebook that you can click and go straight to Facebook, but we don't have them on YouTube. We were at first posting them on YouTube, but we may go back to that. But right now I just have Facebook and Instagram.
Candace,
see.
you have to join Facebook in order to go to the Vastu Creations page.
I believe you have to be able to log in, just like log in. So I think that's what you have to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you had the link to the Facebook,
It would ask you to log in
it would. Okay.
if you're not already on.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the problem. So have you been able to see any of you've seen them live then before the Mantra Mondays? Have you seen them live?
Never. Unfortunately, never, because I don't have a Facebook or Instagram.
Can you register? Are you against Facebook or Instagram? Can you?
Yeah, I don't like Facebook, so I don't do Facebook.
Okay.
We'll try to figure this out for you.
Yeah.
Maybe we can upload it from Facebook to YouTube, and we'll let you know about it in an email.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right, let's see if I have any more hand raises before I go back to the chat. We're good to go there. So someone just asked you to repeat that health mantra one more time.
Om Dhanvantri Namaha. It's Dhanvantri Namaha.
Is that the
And
one?
I'll put it in the chat. I think it's in the chat already, but I'll put it in there again for you later on.
Okay, we'll I don't know. I think that's what you were asking me to do earlier. Did I give you the mantras? And
Yeah, that's what I was asking earlier, but I did see them on the Mantra Monday, guys. So I copied and pasted them into the chat for everybody.
on tree because that was kind of spontaneous.
Oh, you don't have that one in the Mantra?
I haven't given you that one yet. So
Oh, sorry, I can't put in the chat for you guys. All right.
we'll
let's see.
add it to the next newsletter.
Okay,
So
sounds good. All right, and then we have a question from Pamela. Where can we get statues of the different deities?
Well, we used to carry small ones. I think we used to do that.
We have a few Ganeshas and Lakshmis
But
they're about this high, about 3 inches high. But yeah, you can just look on Amazon. You'll find them. They have the statues.
Nice. And we have some more hand raises. So we have Linda and Sasha. I'll go with Linda first. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can't hear you, Linda. I think you have to unmute.
Yeah, press the red microphone, and that'll unmute yourself.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, thanks. I kept hitting it, it wasn't doing anything. Okay, so when I came into the altar thing, the announcement to post in, you offered us to download the Monday mantra, and it has the mantras in there. If she wanted, like I have this, and I took notes on them, and I have one question. The Ganesh, my son and his wife, Ganesh is my favorite because there was a big statue and at the reception. And anyways, okay, stay focused here. So you have a Ganesh Vakratunda mantra and a Ganesh mantra.
Right.
So what's the difference in those? One's full moon, but this is the one I would want to do just the Ganesh to the Gang to
Yeah, I think that Om Ganganapatiye Namah is the easiest to remember, but all of these aspects of the divine, they have several mantras, and this Vakratunda Ganesh mantra is quite beautiful, so I just wanted to share that with you today. So you don't have to learn both. One is fine.
Oh, okay.
They're not
Well,
different.
thank you.
They do the same thing. They're removed
And you
off.
are fantastic, loving, wonderful people. We are so blessed to have you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you.
Linda. Thank you.
Okay. Mwah. Namaste.
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 Namaste. All right, and then we'll have Sasha to unmute herself.
Hi guys.
Hey.
See you tomorrow too.
Well, everybody, this is Sasha, and she is interviewing us tomorrow on Instagram Live. So, Sasha, why don't you give a plug for what it is, how they can find you on Instagram?
Oh, sure. I do actually have a question, but thank you for announcing that. I'll type it in actually. It's Sasha Yoga Wellness. Yoga
Sasha
Wellness.
lives in Paris, everybody.
I do. I'm in Paris, France, and I lived in Brooklyn, and I had a reading from I think Robin and Michael, and got some yantra stickers, and my relationship did a spiral downward immediately afterwards, but it was good. It was for the best. It was a crazy ripple effect. Yeah, so that was intense. And so I've been following you ever since, and I've been really enjoying the altars and working out like what the elements mean and the energies around that. I study a lot of Ayurveda too, so I'm so excited to pick your brains more tomorrow and hear more about this. And thank you for that. Thank you for announcing that. But I do in fact have a question, because so I have a very, very tiny apartment. And the first Mantra Monday I think you did, or this event or something, was the relationship altar. And that is something I am now calling in, since Michael's yantra stickers set my last one into a black hole, but for a good reason. So I have that in my northeast, and then I have another tiny altar that's more accessible, because I have like literally very small, tiny Paris apartment. I have to like step over things. So I have that one in a corner. I have another one kind of like in the north middle part of the apartment. And I get confused, and I assume you have multiple altars in your home too. And then so in the morning, I kind of like get torn. Like, which one should I go to? Should I go to both? Should I light both candles? Should I light both incense? Should I pray to both? Should I sit in front of both? And so I get a little like, should I put, like, I made 2 sets of notes, since my relationship one is just kind of there for now. So I'm just wondering like what your practice is, and do I give myself fully to one altar and let one stay dormant for a little bit? Or I don't know, anything you'd like to say about that?
Is your relationship altar in the northwest? Or the
I'm sorry, you're right, northwest. That's where I'm pointing. It's northwest and north. Yeah.
So the north is the abundance altar. Is that something that you're working on as fervently as the relationship altar?
It's an overarching theme, yes. Abundance. Yeah.
So I would do your practices in front of the altar that is your grounding, which I think is your abundance altar. When you have your abundance, you feel better about yourself, and you know that that's not the reason that you're moving into relationship, is that you have that need to be with somebody to help stabilize you. So you want to come from fullness when you're looking or trying to magnetize a relationship to you. And do you have our 3rd book, the Making One for Mr. Right book?
It's on my list. No, I'm taking a break from spiritual books, and then I'm going to go back into them. I needed to ground myself into planet Earth.
Practical book, in that it gives you a program or a process to start building up to the full moon, and it really helps you get clear on where your mind goes when you're looking. You start thinking about a guy. And so mostly women know what they don't want in relationship, not so much what they do want, especially women in the West. We're kind of programmed like, oh, that was a horrible relationship. I'm never going to do that. I don't want this, 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 and this. And then when they start looking at what they do want, they're kind of inflating their need, instead of coming from being open and allowing what the universe has to support us. So we actually have a process where you write everything down, in categories. So it's more about getting the intellect onto the paper and out of your life. So you're not kind of obsessing about that past relationship and, oh my God, I don't want to ever do that again. So you don't want to bring that energy into the newness. So I would work in front of your altar. That's the most accessible and the less accident prone area for you, especially. Where do you do your yoga in the morning or your spiritual practices? Do you do it facing the north usually?
It depends on if I'm taking my teacher's class or if I'm just practicing. But when I meditate in front of the altar in the north because it's the most accessible one as well. Like I have more floor space. So that's the one I face, but I still I guess that's kind of, I still light both candles and light both incense.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I would spend the majority of your practice in the north because that's easier for you. And the one in the northwest is something you're working on as well. You can continue to keep it activated. I always say you can have as many altars as you want, but only have 2 activated at any one time because that energy starts moving. You want to know where that energy is coming from. I've had people do all 8 directional altars and their lives get crazy. And you kind of want to keep it comfortable to your nervous system. You go, oh my God, I don't want to do that again. Yeah, you want to do this. You want to utilize this energy to keep yourself moving forward, even if it's getting rid of something that's blocking your forward motion. And like you said, and a lot of times some people go, oh my God, there's so much change. I don't know if it's good or bad. But I will tell you, whatever happens in relationship to the altar is always for your highest good. So I just want to preface that to people. These are like positive energy devices.
Like you said, if you're in a relationship that's not in integrity with who you are, it will fall away. So that something else better can come in.
Yeah, and it did. I moved to Paris, so.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Wonderful.
That's a good change.
Yeah. I appreciate that answer of not having so many things going at once and not trying to have all the altars and do all the things. So I'll focus on that one. But thank you. I'm excited to chat with you tomorrow too.
Tomorrow, everybody, it's at 9:00 Pacific time here on the west coast of the U.S. And your time is what time then?
We do our time change tomorrow, so it will be 6 p.m. Paris time and 12 p.m. in Eastern Standard.
Yeah, or Eastern Daylight.
Oh God, yeah. I'm lost in timing. But thank you so much. And thank you, Candace, as well.
No problem. Thank you. All right, so we're on our last question because we're running out of time. Let's see. Michael, could you please repeat what you said about the full moon being in Virgo? Just like a short little summary.
Yes, just very simply put, it's all about healing. And it's a good time to set up a new health regime, exercise, what you eat. And it's also, we're going into this spring or this rebirth month. So in order to move forward in your life, that's why we talk about Shiva destroying the ego, letting go of all that clutter that's in the mind so we can be reborn and move forward. And that's the healing process. So yeah, Virgo, it's feminine energy, it's compassion, it's intuition, it's creativity. That's why we had Saraswati out here. So it's a very creative time, a very healing time.
So that, can we just do this one, Linda's iPad? I think is that about the last one that's being hand raised? Okay.
Yes, I don't know. Her hand was raised earlier, so I don't know if it's the old.
Yeah, that was earlier. Sorry, I didn't take the raised hand down.
Okay, thanks, Linda.
But again, thanks.
Yes.
All right. Do you want one more question or is that it?
Sure, one more question and then we'll call it good.
Okay, let's see. How do you declutter your home? Any directions we need to pay more attention to?
So I would pay attention to the directions that you're having issues within your life. So if it's about finances, abundance, look in the Northeast. You know, if there's any clutter in a closet or drawer or room or garage in the Northeast. If your challenge has to do more with health, then look in the Southeast. Declutter the Southeast. If it has more to do with your career, declutter the Southwest area of your house. And if it's more about relationships and stress in relationships, then look in the Northwest. And remember the center, like you have an attic or a basement and there's clutter there, that could affect all those aspects of your life. So just go by what you need.
Legal issues, someone asked.
Legal issues would be Southeast.
Okay, awesome. All right. Are we going to wrap it up there?
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate you attending and being part of our larger community. And we hope to see you on Monday on Mantra Mondays.